Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from PocketNow.com. Is Siri on the iPhone 4S useful? Well, let's ask her. Siri, are you useful?
I don't know what you mean by Siri are useful.
She doesn't know what I mean. Let's talk about Siri. So this is going to be kind of an editorial video where I'm going to talk about how Siri works in my life and how it really doesn't work in my life. Whether Siri will work for you will be determined by what kind of environments you find yourself in and what kinds of things you do with your phone. So to start, I should say that I don't like talking to a phone. When I use an Android phone, I seldom use the voice-to-text feature because I'm either in a loud environment, I don't want people around me to know what I'm saying, it's rude for me to talk to my phone when I'm around other people, or the technology isn't that good because I can't speak naturally. Sometimes I have to speak like a robot. The same applies to Siri. There are very limited use case scenarios when I can actually use it. When I'm by myself at the office, I can use it. When I'm at home, I can use it. But if I'm in any social situation, when I want to use it most, when I want to remind myself of something or when I want to make an appointment, I can't use it because I'm in a loud environment or I don't want to seem kind of rude in front of all my friends or whomever I'm with. Now, Siri holds a lot of promise, and there's some really cool use case scenarios that I think we're going to see in the future when the technology gets better. But for now, let's talk about what Siri can do, and I'll come back and tell you about some of those really cool things where I think Siri is going in the future. Okay, so let's talk about some of the really cool ways you can use Siri. I think number one coolest way you can use Siri is with geofences. So Siri knows that I'm Brandon Miniman, it knows where I live, it knows where I work, so I can tell it to remind me to do something when I get home or when I get to work. Let's check it out. Remind me to call my wife when I get home.
Here's your reminder for when you get home.
So as you can
Shall I create it?
As you can see, be quiet, Siri. As you can see, it says call my wife,
Okay,
and it says arrival home. And it will literally, when you get within the area of your home, as specified by the contact that you've associated with Siri, it will alert you to call your wife. I mean, that is such cool technology. Another great use for Siri is making calendar appointments. So let's try that. Schedule a call with Bob tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Which one? Bob Kirkwood, Bob Foster. Okay, here's your meeting. Note that you already have an all-day meeting about Mike Kurtziel's birthday for tomorrow.
So it knows what's on your calendar already, and it looks for conflicts on your calendar, which is really cool. You can move meetings if you want. You can delete a meeting even if you want. So let's do some other things with Siri. Siri can really understand human ways of asking for things. Like, should I wear my raincoat tonight?
It doesn't look like it's going to rain tonight.
And it gives you the hourly forecast, which is super cool. It knows where you are. It's pulling the weather. Very cool use of Siri. Let's ask it something else, some general source of piece of information. How tall is the Empire State Building? It could be faster. That's one problem with Siri.
I found this for you.
There we go, Empire State Building. This is from Wolfram Alpha. Down there you can see that. Or let's ask it, what time is it in Beijing?
In Beijing City, China, it's 1:06 a.m.
Now, of course, you can go to Google and you can type this stuff into Google. It's a little bit faster asking Siri. Now, it is awkward if you're doing this while you're at a restaurant and you're really trying to find out what time it is in China. You can, under the table, type what time is it in China in Google. You can't open up your phone, take out your phone in front of everybody and say, what time is it in China? It's just sort of a use case scenario thing. You have to be in the right setting to be able to use Siri. There's a lot of other stuff that Siri does. In fact, if you tap and hold, you click the eye, here are the things you can do. You can call people, you can play music, you can send a text message. It taps into the native SMS application, but it doesn't tap into, say, Twitter or Google Voice or anything like that. You can set up meetings, you can set reminders, probably one of the coolest usages, is that a word? Probably not. You can get directions on how to get home. It taps into the email app, the weather app, the stocks app, all of the default built-in Apple-made applications. Again, there's no third-party app support yet, but that's probably coming. You can make notes, which is really cool. You could do a web search, and you can use Wolfram Alpha to come up with statistical information. One of the coolest uses beyond reminders is this notes. So let's do one of those. Note that my wife's birthday is April 14th. Hopefully you don't forget that. Noted. Okay, so it noted it. Now let's go into the Notes application and see what we have. There it is, 1:08 p.m., a note. So you can dictate notes. Imagine you're driving by yourself and people aren't around you, and you have a brilliant idea. Well, you can use Siri to tap into the Notes application to take a note or to remind you to do something. So a lot of personal information management functions can be carried out with Siri, and that's pretty much it right now. Great in a lot of situations, but in some situations just not very useful. And the technology isn't really that good to where it's incredible, and hopefully it's going that way. Now that we've talked about things that Siri can do today, let's talk about the things that Siri might and probably should be able to do in the future. Really cool uses of artificial intelligence. Imagine Siri being smart enough to have a conversation with a human, a real-time conversation that's not, you have to wait a minute and then it converts it, sends it up to the cloud, it sends it down, gives you an answer. Real-time conversation where it can actually understand logic throughout not just 1 or 2 exchanges, but 3, 4, 5 exchanges. Great example. You tell Siri to make you a restaurant reservation, P.F. Chang's, 7 p.m. tonight. Siri knows where you live, so it knows the P.F. Chang's you go to. It knows how many people you have in your party, and it calls P.F. Chang's for you, has a conversation with the hostess, and makes the reservation. This stuff is totally possible, maybe not with today's technology, but technology that's not too far off. Or what if Siri could tap into third-party apps? And this is something that is most likely coming. So for example, you have an Amazon.com app and Siri taps into that. So you say, Siri, buy the Microsoft Quiet Key keyboard, have it sent to my office. And Siri knows your credit card information, it knows your login, it ties into Amazon, and boom, it places the order for you. Or even Twitter or Facebook. You can send updates to Twitter or Facebook. It knows how to integrate with Twitter and Facebook, or maybe even Kindle applications, or iBooks in the case of an iOS device. So you could say, Siri, download me Super Freakonomics, and boom, moments later, it's paid for it, it's ready to read on your home screen. A lot of great uses coming for Siri in the future. We hope that's probably the vision for Apple. It will understand your buying preferences, where you live, what you like. It will be able to have a conversation, a real human conversation, and the possibilities are really endless. So right now, Siri is kind of useful in some situations, but generally not useful in my opinion. But in the future, it's going to get really interesting. So tell us what you think Siri should be used for and where you hope the technology is going. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. That's it for now.